Hello and welcome to Ticker Tapes. Today, we're back in the world of ETFs, and what a week it's been for technology stocks. True, a rising tide lifts all ships, but the Invesco Nasdaq 100 ETF has comfortably outperformed both SPY, the S&P 500 ETF, and DIA, the Dow Industrials Tracker. QQQ, drawn in black on this 5-day percentage change chart, rose by 7% over the last week, compared with gains of 3.91% in SPY in orange and just 2.18% in DIA, shown in mauve. However, despite those market-leading gains, QQQ did not feature in the table of the top 10 ETF inflows. There were significant inflows into SPY, which accumulated almost $6.54 billion in new money, and the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF also saw $2.43 billion in inflows, but over the same period, QQQ saw just $146.38 million of new cash. Year to date, QQQ has seen its assets under management shrink by $4.127 billion, and the fund is down by 10.28% over that time frame. However, given that the fund has made 8 new highs in the last week alone, it sounds as though many ETF investors have been missing out. Looking at the table of inflows, it's surprising to see that more than $2 billion flowed into the iShares 20-year plus Treasury bond ETF last week. That doesn't look like the shrewdest of bets right now, as some Federal Reserve governors have been talking about larger and more frequent interest rate rises over the last few days. TLT's price is sensitive to what happens in the Ultra T-bond futures. The June contract, which is the current front method, fell by 2.71% over the last 5 trading days and is now down by 5.75% over the last month. TLT has actually fallen by 7.15% over the last month and has made 10 consecutive lows over that time frame. Those are very large and very negative moves in what can often be a very stable and steady market, and they serve to show just how much readjustment the markets are going through in the face of rising interest rates, rising inflation, and the conflict in Ukraine. Away from bond and equity markets, crypto-relayed ETFs were the flavor of the week, with the Global X Blockchain ETF up by 27.39% and the Grayscale Future of Finance ETF, which we featured a few weeks ago, up by 25.96%. Other notable gainers this week included the VanEck Rare Earth and Strategic Metal ETF, which dug out gains of 17.55%. Supply chains for rare earth metals are sensitive to geopolitical risk, and there is plenty of that in the world right now. The Direction Moonshot Innovators ETF, which tracks a basket of stocks involved in innovative and disruptive technologies, rocketed higher by 20.45% over the last week. Among last week's fallers was the Cambria Tail Risk Fund, which is designed to act as a hedge against so-called black swans. That is, unforeseen market-moving and disruptive events that come out of nowhere and wreak havoc. Judging by the fund's performance over 2022, where it's down by 6.33%, we could infer that all of the bad news we've seen so far this year was predictable, including Russia's invasion of Ukraine, which appeared to catch most market participants on the hop.